Hi, beautiful.
Hello.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Oh, I'm much better now.
Okay.
Much better now that I'm talking to you.
How's it going?
We're going better if Roy hadn't drank beer tonight. He
Oh
went
yeah.
over our he went over our friend Elton's and supposed to help Elton with his truck or car or something. And of course, Elton fed him beer while he was there, and now he's back here acting like a jackass. So I got to have a talk with Elton.
Sounds fun.
Oh yeah, yeah, a lot of fun. You're so quiet. How come? You
Can you
tired?
hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you a little better now. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So how did your day go?
Fine. Work. How'd your day go?
It was fine until Roy came back from Elton's.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. You get on the phone and it's like you get a little bit quieter.
And well, you wanted to talk.
Well, yeah.
What's going on?
I always want to talk to you.
Well, yeah, I figured that meant you had something to say.
Well, yeah.
Okay. What's up?
Okay. You still haven't answered the question that I asked you about how you feel about me mentioning your name in class.
I don't know what you mean. Like how I should feel about what?
About me telling them that you're part of my life now.
I mean, okay. That you can't lie to them. I don't know. Or yeah,
Are
just
you okay with it?
texting and stuff. So go ahead and tell them if you need to.
Okay. I'm glad you said that.
Well, you said you can't lie in class, so
Yeah. I'm glad you said that because I kind of had no choice last Tuesday.
then why do you ask?
Because I wanted to make sure you were all right with it before I told you.
Well, what if I had said no? Don't mention me to class.
Um, then I would have been off. I still would have told you that I already did. I would have hated saying it, but
Okay. Well,
I kind of, where I have to be honest in class, I kind of get stuck because they asked me what was going on with me and with Jamie, and
what's going
they
on with
asked me
her?
nothing. I haven't talked to her for 3 days now,
Mm.
which is good.
So what?
Sure.
What's your class say?
Okay. Um. Okay. Well, because of the situation that you and I were in before,
What
the
situation were we both in?
the with the sting, they all but two of them had something. Said
Sorry.
that they all there was only two of them that was actually on our side. I don't really know how to say that.
On our side about what? What's our side?
And our side about talking with each other.
Oh,
uh, um, and those two brought across good points, though.
what?
And I get really defensive in class too. I get so defensive. Uh, they irritate me. But well,
How many
they
people
okay.
are in your class?
There's 6 or 7 that are in there, not including the counselor. And one of them said that, okay, see, the way it is because this is about me. I can talk to you with stuff about me. It's other people in the class I can't talk about stuff about them. So about me, I can talk to you about anything. But one of them said that maybe she's sees something good and thinks he's changed, not the person that he was back then, and maybe she
That
wants to talk to him.
I've changed.
Huh?
That maybe I've changed.
Yeah. It's a,
Changed from. I haven't changed about anything. What do you mean?
no, they're trying to figure out. They were trying to give their opinion on me and you talking, and where you were part of this thing, and that's where I get arrested.
Mhm.
Well, one of them said that maybe she thinks that he's changed, and there might be something good about him, and she wants to find out. And the other one said that maybe she knows something about this thing that in some parts didn't sit right with her, or something like that. And maybe she has her own opinion of things.
Well,
So
you know my.
I'm not trying to get I'm not trying to get any answers out of you. I'm trying to tell you what they said in class. So I don't want you to be defensive about that stuff. I just want you to know what they said.
Okay.
Huh?
I'm not being defensive. Okay.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to make sure that you know I wasn't trying to get anything out of you. I just wanted to make sure you know that I was being honest with you about what they said.
Well, what did they say? Like, well, what did you tell them?
I told them that you and I were talking, and the counselor asked me romantically or friends. I said friends, and he asked the rest of the guys in the class what they thought about it, what they would do in my circumstance, and they all gave their opinion of what they would do.
When you tell class, you have to go to the front, like in front of the whiteboard, and present it like a high school presentation.
No, we're over the phone because of COVID. We've been over the phone for almost 2 years now, which will be over the phone for quite a long time still because of COVID. But the other guys in the class basically gave the same opinion as the rest of them. Those two that was on our side, and the other 5. Well, I kind of think it was the counselor's fault too, the way that he asked the question, because the way he asked the question was, if somebody was, if that was you in that circumstance where a person was involved in that thing, would you want to have anything to do with them after that? And the other 5 guys said no, and I started getting defensive right off the bat, and the counselor shut me up. I argued with them a little bit, and he didn't want me to give my he didn't want to hear my mouth.
Mm-hmm.
So he shut me up, and I told him, I said, really? I said, I've got freedom of speech, and you think you can take that away too? So I just shut my mouth after that, and at the end of the class, he let me say what I wanted to say.
So
So
took your freedom of speech away.
he did for a minute till I said that. And at the end
Well,
of the
but then
class,
you
he asked,
stopped talking, so he kind of did.
huh?
He kind of did take your freedom of speech away, don't you think?
Yeah, well, yeah, he did. And, yeah, there was no kind of about it. He did. Which I didn't tell my lawyer about that when I talked to him. 'Cause that pissed me off.
You violate your civil rights.
Yeah.
Mm.
That kind of irritates me quite a bit.
Yeah.
But it's like I'm stuck in a place where I promised Bryce that I wouldn't fight with them about being in class right now, because Bryce said Bryce is my probation officer.
Oh.
He's also the supervising probation officer. Usually I have a different probation officer because Bryce is the supervising probation officer.
They got the big guy on you.
What's that?
They got the big guy on you.
Yeah. Well, he's
Must be a troublemaker.
Yeah. No, my normal supervisor, my normal probation officer moved to a different area. So until they find a replacement for her, Bryce is taking over until they find her replacement. So, which shouldn't be too long anyway. Usually they don't take very long to find replacements. But this is what brought all my questions today.
Oh.
Okay.
Did they say it was weird that I like to talk on the phone in my car?
No, they didn't, because I didn't mention anything to them about that.
Oh, that was just your own thought.
That was my own thought.
So what did you mean by that?
It was my own.
And it was a red flag.
Gotta stay honest with you. All I could think was, okay, well, she's staying in her car talking to me, not going in her house. So what's in her house that she doesn't want me to be here?
Oh, my husband's are in the house.
You're a little smart ass. Okay, I got two more.
That was the reason, because I'm hiding something in my house.
That was what I was wondering, because that's happened to me before. That's why that popped into my head.
A very paranoid thought.
Yeah, well, it's happened to me before. That's why that popped into my head. But
How many times did that happen to you?
Oh, that's happened. Twice.
So 2 times you dated someone who talked in their car, who had husbands?
Yeah. Yeah, well, one had a fiance that I didn't know about, and the other one had lived with her family.
Well,
she did.
Okay, but what were their husbands doing when you were hanging out with them? Like when they were at your house, where were their husbands?
I have no idea. I never asked them because I didn't know that she had a fiance.
Or like when you went over to your girlfriend's house, you didn't see any pictures of them up there?
No. This was over the phone. I met her. This was part of the Church of Cod crap.
There's your problem.
Yeah.
You shouldn't date people over the phone.
Well, I'm not saying that because there's you. Yeah, I shouldn't have dated anybody that was involved with that Church of God crap. That's for damn sure. It really, that was a terrible trip. And you're saving grace.
Okay. So that's it. All your questions. What else you got for me?
Okay, I guess. I'm telling you this so I can be honest with you, because I want you to know everything. I don't want to hide anything from you. Okay, I talked to my lawyer yesterday, and I told him the problem that I had. I told him the problem that I had with Bryce. No, with Bryce, with my counselor, and I told my lawyer about you.
Mm-hmm.
He asked me if I was nuts. See, it sucks because I don't relate you to the show anymore, and they're relating you to the show.
Yeah, I mean,
And that
that's
sucks.
fair.
And my brother Richard, I called him, and he reacted the same way as my lawyer did.
Mm.
And they think there might be some kind of setup, but they're not the ones talking. Roy, Mom, and Paul. And
I think it's a setup. Like how? Gonna come arrest you?
I don't know. Well, that's what I'm trying to figure out is, how can it be a setup? She's 36 years old. She doesn't have anything to do with Chris. She's not hiding anything from me. But they don't talk to you. And they don't, and, well, especially when you told me, don't tell Chris that we're talking. That's the problem I have is that they don't know what you and I talk about, and they don't know the way that you react to things and maturity that you have, and they don't know that you really don't have anything to do with Chris anymore.
Well, yeah, we just worked on that.
They just keep
couple shows.
Yeah, they relate you to the show because that's all they can think about, and they're not thinking it's 14 years later.
Mm-hmm.
They're thinking back then. But I'm not thinking back then. I haven't thought about back then I haven't related you to the show for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
But Mom, I told Mom, and she didn't say anything. She said, other than really? I said, yeah. And Paul, he just says, whatever. Do whatever you want. I don't care, he says.
Mm-hmm.
And Roy said, the past is the past. I'll leave it in the past. That's the way I think too. I gotta leave it in the past, and I told everybody, the people that were negative thinking about it, I told them, I said, why would you be against me talking to her? I said, she's not the one that did anything. I said, I'm the one that did it. And even in class, I said that. I was pissed. I said, me not talking to her just because she was in this thing. I said, she's not the one that did the crime. It was me that did the crime. I said, there ain't no way I should condemn her for doing something that I did.
Right.
And that's why I was, oh God, when I pissed it off. Because I even, what day was it? Thursday. I called my counselor because I was pissed. I was on my way back from Skowhegan and I was pissed. I kept thinking about it. And I told him, and I said, why on earth would you want me to ask the class that? I said, you act like she's the one that did something. I said, and it was me that did something. So I'm pissed off at you for for making me feel like I shouldn't talk to her because I did something. He said, well, didn't she set you up? I said, well, sure. She's not the one that set me up. She was the actress.
No, I just had to play the little girl.
Yeah. But you weren't the one that set me up. That was perverted justice set me up. But it was my fault that I went there.
Mm-hmm.
And so it pisses me off the way that they're reacting to stuff. What do you want, Roy? Yeah, a regular biscuit, right? Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, I'll go talk to Sue. I'm on the phone. No, Sadie's in here. Yes, okay. Sorry. Yeah, but it's important that you know this stuff because I'm sure Bryce is going to wind up having a talk with me too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I just want you to have a heads up on stuff.